Ashley.
And we are
The Chico Sisters. So today we're going to be talking about struggles of being bilingual.
There's a lot. We only thought of 7 in the moment, but there's a lot.
Yeah, we thought of 7 in like the past 10 minutes. We just thought of 7.
I had some of them already in my head because I had this idea for like a week now, but enjoy. Talking to one person in language A, then turning to talk to another person in language A, when you know they speak language B.
So it could be like you could be talking to one person in Spanish, right? And then you go to talk to your friend that only knows English, and you talk to them in Spanish, and you know that they have no idea what you're saying, but you still talk to them in Spanish.
Like, it's happened to me before, especially since, like, for example, at school, like, I have a friend that pretty much only speaks Spanish. So I talk to him in Spanish, and then I have to go around and talk to this other person, and I did it in Spanish, but I didn't mean to do it. It just so happened because it was the language I was already speaking in. So it was like, and I was like, wait, sorry.
Yeah, plus I have a class at school that we just speak Spanish in that class. So then I go to my next class and we're speaking English, and it sucks because like I have to like switch my brain, and sometimes I can't, so then I end up speaking Spanish, and they're over here looking at me like,
¿Ecomi? Oh, I just thought of another struggle.
What?
When an accent comes out randomly out of nowhere. Okay, so bonus. When an accent comes out randomly out of nowhere, you cannot have an accent. You cannot have an accent for like the longest time of your life, and you will just say one word randomly, and you will like not randomly, like you'll just say one word, and randomly it will have an accent. I don't understand how it happens, but it happens. Recently, it's been happening to us quite often,
especially in English, which is funny because like I speak better in English than I do in my other language. And like, so for some reason, I had an accent one time, and I'm just like, why?
Why? Sorry. Okay. Next one.
Okay, when you're writing in one language, and you're trying to spell it out in that language, but for some reason you spell it out in a different language, and it's spelled wrong. So like, for instance, I could be trying to spell it out in English. I'm trying to write one word in English and trying to spell it out correctly. For some reason, I spell it out in Spanish, and it's in Spanish, and it's spelled wrong.
I know, it happens to me. And I'm just like, why? Why? Why?
And there'd be sometimes where that word is, like, that word has a word in Spanish, and it's a little. And then there's other times where that word doesn't really exist in the Spanish language, but for some reason you try to spell it as if it's a Spanish word, and it's wrong.
I'm telling you, the struggles of being bilingual are hard. Or speaking multiple languages, and it's not.
Yeah, if you know more than 2 languages, good for you.
And I'm sorry, because that has to be so difficult. We tried learning Italian. We started on Duolingo, not sponsored. Oh, sorry. We started on Duolingo.
Not sponsored.
But, we kind of stopped. But I really like Duolingo.
I gave up on that.
I think I'm going to get back on it because I really, truly like Duolingo, and I would love to learn. The language we were trying to learn, we were the 3 of us, all my sister and my older sister, and we were trying to learn Italian.
Yeah. You know what? I might get on it, but if I don't have summer homework, then during summer I'll do it. But not right now.
I think it'd be so cool.
I have too much of a schedule right now.
Because I think it'd be so cool to be like, no Italian, to be like, io bevo l'acqua. That's what I really remember about it. And pane. And
didn't you just say that I drink water?
Yeah. Anyways, back to the thing. When your keyboard is set to 2 languages, but you're trying to write in one language and you have it set for the other language. Guys, this happens to me quite often. I tend to have my, because we speak Spanish and English. I think you already know that, sorry, because we've said it before, sorry. Anyways, sorry, also not judging if you don't know it. I just feel like I felt stupid by saying that because we have mentioned it. Anyways. So,
oh, you did.
Ollie, you dropped the bed. I'm sorry. Where were we?
So you forget a word in one language, but you know it in the other language, so then you're trying to say it in the other language to that person, but they don't know that language, so you're just trying and trying to figure it out in their language. And what's even worse is when you're trying to think of the word and you don't know it in either language. Like, you completely forgot it. English, Spanish, whatever language you know, you just don't remember the word. And it's like on the tip of your tongue, but you can't remember it, and you're screwed.
And it's even worse because, you know, you're just screwed, but also because you usually have the other language to fall back on to, like, figure out. And if, like, the person you're talking to, for example, our mom that speaks both, you can be like, oh, it's this. And she's like, oh, this is this. You know, like, they can help you. But if you just forgot in both, then you're just screwed, like she said. You're just screwed because you can't figure it out. And you're like, oh, I lost the word, and you just sit there and you lost the word and you have to move on with the conversation because you cannot remember the word. When you're listening to music and you cannot tell for the life of you what language it's in.
Yes, and it sucks because I was listening to a song and it was mainly in Spanish, but then it said a word in English, and I could not understand what it was saying for the longest time. And then later I found out, like, because I like really listened to it.
And
but
also,
what
like,
sucks even more.
Wait. And also, like, when you're listening and you can't tell what language it is, so you have to sit there, literally, like, picking out a word, and you have to sit there, like, this is what happens to me. I sit there, and I have to find one word, or, like, several words that can, like, that I know is in this language. Like, the. Sometimes it's normally the. If I hear the word the, I'm like, oh, it's English, we're good.
Yeah, and what sucks, like, it's not even just music, like, when someone's talking and your brain can't identify whether they're talking in English or Spanish or whatever other language, and it just sounds like gibberish to you. And they could be talking in, like, I don't know, English, but, like, your brain can't detect it, and it just sounds like gibberish.
Mm-hmm. When you're reading something and you read it in the wrong language. I thought you were going to fall back. I thought you were going to say something.
I have nothing to say.
Me neither. What happened?
So, like, you could be reading something in English. I'm sorry, we're using it in English and Spanish because obviously I'm sorry.
Those are the languages we speak.
I'm sorry. It could be Italian, it could be Arabic, it could be Hebrew, whatever language you know.
French.
Okay?
French.
Chinese.
Chinese is cool. Japanese. Yeah. Okay. Continue.
And you are reading it, but you're thinking in a different language, and, like, you just can't understand.
So thank you for watching. Our mom has a t-shirt company called AswellPrada.com. Go check it out. She does t-shirts, hoodies, jackets, whatever you really need. We have some designs on there, designs for Christmas to order. They're pretty cheap. They'll normally go, like, the high I think so far has been $25, and it's normally between $15 to $25. It all depends on, like, what design you want and stuff like that. And you can also make your own design, or we can make a design for you. You just gotta tell us kind of what you want, and we will make it for you. And so yeah.
We also have another YouTube channel with our oldest sister. It's called Asaya Grupo, and we do pantomimes, dances. You see what I'm talking about? I was trying to say a word that's in Spanish in an English accent. American accent, let's say that. Because I don't have an English. I wish I had an English accent.
So I'm telling you, that's a struggle.
Trying to say,
I know one. Getting tongue-tied as well. I don't know if that has to do with like speaking in Spanish or what, but I will get so tongue-tied and I just can't.
I feel like knowing another language makes it worse for you. Like, sure, you can get tongue-tied knowing one language, but when you know two languages, you're screwed.
Yeah, you really just get tongue-tied, and it's just not right. Right, going back to Asaya Grupo, go ahead.
Okay, we have a YouTube channel with our oldest sister, Asaya Grupo. We do pantomimas, danzas, not necessarily danzas, but we did one that was like pantomima, danza type, like it was all like kind of mixed in. So, yeah.
So yeah, go check this out. I hope you guys like it. We have a few songs in English, but we have a lot in Spanish as well, so if you speak Spanish, go ahead.
And if you speak English, well then there are still some there for you too. We're trying to do more English ones. But yeah.
So I hope we helped you guys feel more related, more like you're not the only one that has these problems. I hope that when you related to us, and I hope that we can relate to you, because this is a real struggle. I mean, it's not a real struggle, not anything bad, but it is a struggle that a lot of people do deal with, and it's not really a struggle. It's just something that
it's a struggle, okay? It's a struggle, knowing more than one language. There are pros and there are cons. Those are just some of the cons, okay?
Yeah, you want a pro, you can pretty much get whatever job you want, because people that
not necessarily, okay? Knowing more than one language isn't going to guarantee you a job.
No, but you have more chances of getting that job, and sometimes if you know more than one language, you'll get paid a little bit higher because you do know that, because you speak more than one language, and you can, like, translate and whatnot. And instead of having, like, the person for your job and a translator, they just have your job, because you are the translator. So, yeah, so that's a pro. So, there you go.
That rhymed.
Life.
Okay. So, yeah.
I'm getting ready to close the video. Oh, sorry, okay. Okay, that's it for you today.
Drop a thumbs up if you liked the video.
And subscribe to see more of us.
We post every week.
And hit the bell notification to get notified when we post.
Bye! That almost fell.